is Joseph Bonicioli. I come from the Athens wireless Metropolitan network. It's, this is the map of the network. Obviously it's not very clear because it's too messy. And I will go straight ahead like to all what it is and when it started and everything. The Athens wireless Metropolitan network started on 2002 and was purely like created due to the lack of broadband in Greece. DSLs were like scarce. We couldn't find a lot. So we found that we created a couple of nodes with DSL lines and people started connecting around them and meshing. It's created by its members. Now it got to the point where it's rather large and it's about 120 kilometers like to the north, and from east to west about 84 kilometers as a network. It is basically an open network, mostly for experimentation and education. We are not giving away internet. It's given away by members probably sometimes, but it's not something which is standard. We only use the uplinks for hosting our websites, for services, for monitoring, and generally for gaining access into the network rather than getting out from the network to the internet. So, in other words, we exist. Even if the internet doesn't exist, we are there. We offer our services. Everybody's like creating a service, and we offer a service to the community. So, which other people are joining this network? The largest amount is people like between 25 and 34. This is like a study made out of the Economics University in Greece. It's a mosaic of people. It's mostly educated, highly motivated towards technology, and the other motives they got is like a very high speed. It's exciting services with high bandwidth. It's creativity. They want to create their own services. They want to create their nodes. They want to create their own hardware. They want to create their own antennas. As well as experimentation, education around workshops that we offer them, and as well in the end for social things, as they want to get popular with people, they want to earn respect out of the work, or they want to just earn a friendship and like socialize with people in the community. The network utilizes all kinds of 802.11. It's A, it's B. B it's usually mostly like for the access points where we offer like free open access to everybody to the network. But recently we moved a big part of the network to 8.0.1 and 11n. It's mostly at 5.4 gigs. So it's mainly operated by Linux routers. Mostly we have MikroTiks. But that doesn't say that we haven't hacked into it, and we haven't added our own stuff. We haven't added OLSR. We added like many things that we might need like in certain areas. We made the islands of OLSR, which are like autonomous systems, and that's because we're using BGP to start off with. That's our main routing, which is like internet is doing exactly the same. We have confederations. We have like loads of small islands where people like trying different technologies and different routing protocols. There are like about 10,000 people that are expressed an interest like in connecting. There are like about 2,500 nodes. The backbone, which consists a bit different to probably, I haven't really realized how everybody's counting what is a backbone node, but for us, it's something which has two directional antennas that provides high bandwidth to all the backbone, as well as the access point that is getting people like to connect. The speeds are vary from 11 megabits, which is like the first big protocol, up to 150, which would be like 300, like rated 300, like for the 802.11n. And there are 730 access points, about 730 access points, and about 1,000 connected services that anybody could gain access to. So we also have an association. I'll just go brief on that. It's just it's mostly like to concentrate all the efforts of everybody is for developing like different hardware, for training people, encouraging volunteers, making some events, enjoying like barbecues and things like that. It's more towards the community rather than actually representing or gaining grants or things like that. We tried so many times like to get grants, but it's very, very difficult for Greece. Not only to get grants, but also to get internet connectivity on a high scale as a fiber or something like that. So I'll just show you some pictures because I thought I'll take out, it was a quick presentation that I made this morning. I thought I'll show some pictures because it's exactly the thing what everybody needs like to understand what's going on there. Those are pictures of feeders that we made for 802.11n. Those two polarity feeders. Those are like card designs, and those are like that's the first dish test dish that we have like to test actually the features. We tried, you know, have you seen like different sizes, different levels of different designs. This is an installation that we did recently. We also collaborated with a couple of TV stations, which they offered like access to all the mountains in Greece. So this one is the first installation we started, which is probably going to expand to the whole Greece if we really get the funding and if we really get like to collect all that money. Because as you see, the equipment is very, very different, much more expensive. Only the antennas like probably cost 2,000 euros. And this is like a small self-made structure with a small router directly on the back of that panel, the dish, to avoid like having large cables and having loads of attenuation. This is like the most common like installation you see in houses. You can see back like the dishes, and this is like a small router board for that. And then, as a review, from 2007, we upgraded most of the servers like in our main data center, if you can call it, but we don't really have it. It's like much more dispersed. It used to be like in one data center. We developed more applications from the association. We actually developed even more like the link we have, the node database we have. We extended the network to almost like all the area of Attica. Cooperated with SPs, TV channels, performed more than a couple of workshops, and participated within quick expos. Open communication channels with different cities, and we as well like started like free spots on certain like busy areas, as well as expanded on .11n, and as well on IPv6 like IPs. Basically, we have like several segments in the network that are already running on IPv6. So what you can find like as services in the network, we have portals, we have messaging systems, we have SIP, we have a backbone of SIP, we have loads of web gateways. There are broadcasting services such as like IPTV, video on demand, file services, high resolution galleries, but I'll show you next in the slides some of those. That was like the main portal. That's our node database, which is similar to what Wi-Fi has. It uses like the Google Maps, and it provides general coordination. It has also internal messaging, as well as giving like IP addresses, as well as giving out the top level domains. And it generally helps in planning. We also have created the elevation and the line of sight on our own. Similar to what Wi-Fi has. That's the main interface. You can see it allocates IPs. It also allocates names, and it also you can also enter your DNS server like 7 year zones. as well from there, like you can select nodes and see if you have a line of sight. And also some basic stats about the network. This is like similar to what Shoutcast has, but we built it for our own network. It's all like the streaming service that we have for radio stations. That's streaming like services live. That's similar to YouTube, what we call WLTube, wireless tube. The engine was one of the services that you have video on demand for movies. Galleries, more websites for books, radio stations. This is an info site which has like loads of RFCs and PDFs for like different material that we use from time to time. Learning centers where you can go like and do the tests. Libraries, routing, Nagios, basically monitor tools. Whether so many people that started building their own applications. Topology of the OLSR we tried, but a certain part of the network, which was an autonomous system, and running OLSR on it. Speed services, anyway. Anything else? That's also IS, the weather stations. We have like a big grid of weather stations, as well as monitoring all the ships in the Aegean Sea. Mail servers. Instead of Google, we got Yahoo. Instead of Yahoo, we got Wahoo. Domain availability, that's form services like with catalogs, mirrors from different websites and repositories. That's a wiki page, that's for file services. I mean, there's loads of stuff. There's chess, games, music, there's a guy that actually made like mixes and stuff like on Flash. Websites, I don't know, millions of stuff. Sorry? Finals, yeah, we used to have like a guy that just sat down and like compressed like I don't know how many movies, and it was all live like, and free like for series and whatever, but obviously he had like to restrain it a bit. Yeah, it was like it was a 10,000 movies database, so he actually made like what, I don't know, 50 terabytes of stuff, I don't know where he found all these disks. He was like sleeping on top of the disks, I don't know what.
Someone told him it was illegal.
Yeah. It still works, but it's a bit, restrained now. That's unofficial, like. So it's not only us, it's as well as so many other like communities in Greece. We're all connected with VPNs. Not that well at this time because our uplink to the internet like is suffering at this point. We're load balancing loads of lines like to try to get our services out. But we still tried VPN with Vienna as well. And it's our dream to interconnect with everybody. So if anybody wants like a VPN, like just give us an email. We'll just open it just for fun as well, like if you want to have a look into the network. So the future is like, yes, extending the fibers, going to 700. We have like this collaboration with TV Station, so we can like probably try a few cards like on the 700 because they have this band that we can share it with them. Go to fibers, so we said that extend the network in any means.